I want to visit Tequila Country in Mexico, and
Ooh.
I know, and potentially get on the Jose Cuervo Express, which is a train that will take you throughout Tequila Country. But there's something called a Tequila Trail.
You're listening to Ticket to Anywhere, an award-winning travel essential podcast hosted by Leah and Trizzy, two Asian American women with 23 years of combined travel experience.
We are your first stop to infinite travel, giving you the gear, tools, and tips for a more travel-filled life.
Welcome back to the Ticket to Anywhere podcast, the 2024 best travel podcast by Women in Podcasting. Oh yeah, that's us. I am one of your co-hosts, Trizzy at TrizzInc.
And I'm Leah LA at Flight, and I love that new intro. We
Doesn't
are
it just
gonna milk
roll off the
that.
tongue?
It does. We're gonna milk that because we are very proud. And we got an amazing episode today. I mean, we say that every episode, but this one's really cool because I kind of love lists, right? Who doesn't love a list? And I feel like we're gonna give some people some new ideas today.
I hope so too. I mean, it ranged from all over the world. So,
Yeah. 100%. And so today's episode, as you see the title, it's the top 10 places we want to visit in 2025. And this is just like where we want to go, not necessarily saying that we have travel plans to go here yet or that we have anything booked, but these have been on our radar for quite some time, or they have a very like deep or special reason why we want to go there.
it could be for coffee, it could be for tea.
Speaking of,
Speaking
Trizzy,
of,
what you got over there?
my fuel for the episode is a Wuyu Thai oolong tea that we picked up in Beijing. I don't know why I almost forgot what country. Beijing, China.
Beijing, China. Okay, you might get a little hint of that later in this episode, but I'm very basic. As you can see, I am at a hotel for work, so I'm recording here. So I got some lobby coffee. I don't even know where it's brewed from, with just a little bit of creamer and sugar. It's coffee surprise. Coffee surprise.
Coffee surprise. Ooh. Do you usually like go to the nearest grocery store to buy your oatmeal creamer or whatever and just like mix it up?
When I just buy most of my creamer from like Sprouts and Aldi when I'm at home. Yeah, I'm like,
Okay,
"Ooh,
okay.
what's good here?" Yeah, so for sure.
Awesome. Well, cheers to manifesting all these trips for us in the upcoming 2025 and cheers to the episode. Cheers to y'all.
Yeah. Hope you're enjoying January. Cheers.
Hey. One of my top places that I am hoping to go in 2025. I don't think it's gonna
Just
happen.
manifest it. No, don't say
Okay.
that.
Manifest it,
It will
manifest it, manifest
happen.
it.
We're claiming it right now. Yeah, we're bringing the
Okay,
energy in by
okay.
creating an entire episode about it.
Come on, Darius.
Who?
You haven't seen that
What is
meme where it's, like, on
No.
Family Feud? There's, like, this white
No.
woman who just, like, kinda shakes her titties to just distract her opponent, and she's like, "Come on, Darius."
Oh my god.
But, I am manifesting to go to Norway.
Mm.
Yes, and I
I
haven't
mean, you're
decided
about to be
which
pretty close at
season.
time of filming, you're gonna be pretty close to it.
Yes, that's true. Um, it was supposed to be this year,
Mhm.
but I believe the flights were way too expensive during that time of year,
Mm.
and I think in general it is pretty expensive to get to Norway, just like how it was kinda expensive to get to Finland,
Mhm.
but, I feel like I would love to live in Norway for a whole year just to experience all of the seasons that they have, which is,
Wow.
the midnight sun, the pitch black for nearly 24 hours. I wanna catch the
Wow.
northern lights again because I miss my friends, the aurora borealis,
Aw.
and, yeah, so I'm hoping that happens,
Mhm.
so manifest it, bring the energy to make it
We're
happen.
claiming it.
Yeah,
Okay, I love that for you.
thank you.
Yeah, you'll get there. Okay, Number 1 place actually, no, this is in no particular order for me. I am starting with kind of the
Same.
exciting ones. Um, and I've expressed this to you before, not while we're recording, but I wanna do Vietnam, but a coffee tour focus
Hell
in
yeah.
Vietnam, like, focusing on visiting local coffee growers, roasters, shops, distributors, like, for what reason? I don't know. I don't own a coffee shop. Maybe one day I will, but I also have not been to Vietnam, and, Vietnamese food is some of the most amazing, freshest, most flavorful food on the planet.
So
It's
good. They're
rel
very, like, vegetarian friendly as well.
Yes, thank you, yes, and, like, it's just a part of Southeast Asia I haven't been to. Complex history, right, with the US,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah.
I am ready to go. I feel like I keep going to other countries around it, and, I haven't yet, but I was like, how cool would that be to kind of, like, make coffee the focus of those? So, coffee
Mhm.
trip to Vietnam, I might come back having bought a cafe, who knows?
Man, coffee tour in Vietnam, you'll be spending, like, the whole year there. There's
Yeah.
so many cafes, it's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah. You're gonna love it, so I'm excited for you. That's a great top choice, and I feel like, um, because you keep getting closer and closer to it, it's gonna happen.
Okay, alright,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Well, you've been to this place, and I think you've been to the attachment of this place. My next spot is I really wanna go to New Zealand and Australia. So, I'm gonna pair them
Okay.
both if I ever get there. So, I mean, preferably, I would choose New Zealand because of all the
Yes.
nature, the outdoorsy. I ran into a couple when we were in Indonesia. They had spent I think 6 weeks camper vanning around New Zealand
Yep.
prior to Indonesia,
That is, like, the
and
thing to do.
yeah, and the way they, like, did it was so inspiring. They bought a camper van because it was cheaper to buy it, and then at
Then
the end of the
versus
trip,
renting,
they
yeah.
sold it. Yeah,
Wow.
and I was like, "Huh, that's actually" I mean, I don't know if I have that capability to buy it, but, I think that's just a really cool way to travel in such a
Yes,
different form of living and accommodation as well. So
100%.
mhm,
Yeah,
and
I
we
love
have
that.
friends in Australia, and they're always telling us, come visit,"
Come
and
through.
it's due. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I you need to spend at least 3 weeks there,
Okay,
you know?
at least 3 weeks in
1
both the
country.
countries? 1
No,
country,
1
yeah.
country. Because flying even from Melbourne to Auckland in New Zealand is, like, 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
that's why I know everyone asks when I lived there in 2017, 2018. They're like, "Oh, did you go to New Zealand?" I'm like, "No, it's not like LA to Vegas, like, it's a 5-hour trip."
Oh, man,
And
I
if
was
you're
thinking,
anywhere
like
else in Australia, it might be longer. So,
oh, right,
yeah.
right. Damn,
So
okay,
I
well,
guess you
good
just
to
gotta
know.
take 6 weeks to do
Guess I
both
gotta do
countries.
it. I know.
6 weeks to both countries.
Yes, ain't mad about that.
Okay, my
Uh-oh.
next one, wow, a lot of my places are centering around specific items, but I want to visit tequila country in Mexico, and
Ooh.
I know, and potentially get on the Jose Cuervo Express, which is a train that will take you throughout tequila country, but there's something called the tequila trail. And this is, near Guadalajara, certain regions. It's literally called La Ruta del Tequila, and it's the Spanish tequila trail. It's a tequila trail in Spanish, but I didn't know this until I Googled it right before. The tequila trail in Mexico is literally an UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2006,
Ooh,
which is really freaking cool
that
because it's
is fun.
protected. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And as I've gotten more mature, I've become more obsessed with tequila and like good tequila, stuff that doesn't give you a headache, but it's nice and powerful. So,
Mhm.
Mexico's not it's not too far away, so I think I can actually make this happen.
So you said this is in Guadalajara?
Near Guadalajara. I think Guadalajara
Near,
is like
okay.
one of the regions/cities that exists in like the tequila region. But there is a train called the Jose Cuervo Express, and it's like a 9-hour day journey. And I was like, that would be so cool. And this is you're seeing like the Mexican countryside, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Man, that's
So
awesome. That's something
yeah.
I would do minus the tequila.
Yeah.
I'll tag along and you could just drink my tequila.
Well, I'm sure like even yeah, come because even like the agave or the plants that tequila is made from, like they make other products. I don't think they just make
Mm.
tequila.
I know, I'll be like, even the smoothest tequila will give me a headache.
We need to test that out on you. I think you'll be good
Ooh,
actually.
I know, right? Placebo.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for you. That is another great option. My next 2, they will be, repeats,
Okay.
and the first one will be China, just because I have a
Okay.
10-year visa, and
Wait, I
China's
love that.
huge.
I love that. Wait, you just I'm so sorry to hijack. I don't mean to hijack, but I have a 10-year Brazil visa that expires in 2026, so I think I need
Oh,
to go too.
yes, you need to.
Oh my
You gotta make
gosh.
use of it.
You reminded me.
The visa was $140 for 10 years, so I'm gonna use that
See,
up.
that's expensive if you only go once, but it's much
Mhm.
cheaper if you go multiple times.
Exactly, and,
Okay,
one of
do
the
you know
main
where you wanna go in
yeah,
China?
one of
Yeah.
the main purposes is to bring my parents to China. They've already
Oh.
been, but they
Mhm.
wanna go again and see a different, city, and,
Yeah, yeah.
Chongqing is the one that we wanna go to.
Yes. Shout out to
So
Justin Nation.
yes, Destination. I
It
wish
was
you were
her
still
home.
living there.
I know, it was her home for so long. She's gonna give you all the best info.
Definitely, yeah, and it's cute because my parents keep sending me these clips of Chongqing, and it just
Mhm.
seems like they're super excited, so I really wanna make this happen, not just for me, but also for them.
Oh, so
So
cute.
yeah, and the food, oh my gosh, so
The
good.
food, so
Yeah,
good. Oh my god. Okay, wait,
so
where
good.
are your parents' families from in China?
Okay, so my parents are full Chinese,
Mhm.
but they were born and raised in Vietnam. So
Mhm.
I don't know if or when the Chinese heritage starts, because
Mhm.
I heard that my mom's mom, my grandma, was born in Cambodia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You're just Pan-Asian. You're all
yeah,
every
for
kind of
real.
Asian.
Yeah, and my dad's parents, they are Vietnam heritage, born and raised as well.
Wait, so
So
you're part Vietnamese? Or like or your dad's parents are from China, born and raised in Vietnam, or are they Vietnamese?
they're the same as my parents, full Chinese, but born and raised
Okay.
in Vietnam.
Okay,
So I
okay.
have a lot of Vietnamese heritage in me, but I think culturally, it's the food that sticks out, Vietnamese food that sticks out rather than,
Mhm.
like, the history in
Mhm.
itself. So, yeah, I can't tell you where in China I am, but I did take a ancestry test before, and I'm 95% mainland China.
Main versus what? Taiwan?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I had any Taiwanese. I have to check again, but I had, like, 0.4% Filipino.
Really?
Yeah,
That's so
fascinating.
interesting. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay. I
so
love that.
mhm.
Back to China you
So
go.
China
That's a big
exactly.
trip. You got some really big
Mhm.
some big trips. I do too, but I feel like yours are bigger.
I know, mine is, like, hard to get to,
You're like, "I'm
but
gonna travel all of Australia, every coast." I'm like, "Okay, good luck." I went to, like, 2 states while I was there, and I was living there. So oh my gosh. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Going back to your roots. Okay. Um, one that I've kept hearing about that is becoming I've been seeing it popping up more and more, but maybe because I'm manifesting it and I haven't been to this country a lot at all. It's actually my least visited country, so you probably know what I'm about to say, but I really want to go to Tanzania
Oh.
and Zanzibar, which is all the beautiful beaches.
Sounds nice.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
imagining it right now.
back to Africa. It's the east coast of Africa. I really don't know a lot about it at all. I know, I've only been to Morocco, North Africa, very, very different. And then I've been to Cape Town, South Africa, very, very different. So I've almost had people say this to me personally, but not out loud, like not to others publicly, but they're like, and they were Africans. They're like, "Oh, you haven't been to the real Africa, have you?" I was like, "What?"
Mm.
I was like,
Wow.
"What kind of comment is that?" Yeah, I didn't say it. I'm just repeating what someone else said to me. Um, but I haven't been to basically the east or the west coast. I've only been to the very north and the very, very south.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So East and East Africa, West Africa, very very different culturally. So I'd love to get there. I really don't know
Mhm.
much about it at all, but I also know that Remote Year does a program there, which is really cool
And you've
because
done it
I
before.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I spent a month in Cape Town with Remote Year. And I almost feel like it could be a good place to go with a group, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'd obviously getting to Africa. Oh my god, it took me like 37 hours to get to Cape Town. So
Damn.
I know I'd want to like spend a long time there. So I'm like, "Ugh, minimum a month, but I'm like, when do I have time for that? Who knows?"
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Tanzania, that's on my list.
Okay. You only had one layover, right? And that was Turkey?
Correct. And it was the same
Okay.
layover both ways and the Istanbul airport. Oh my gosh, lounges for days. Multiple lounges. Pick a lounge, any lounge. So and they're open
Love it.
24/7,
Oh,
24/7.
that's nice. That's so nice.
I know. Dude, Priority Pass ain't nothing in the US.
For real. It's freaking LA.
It's
Yeah.
sad.
Mhm. Alright, so my other return country would be to Singapore. I have a nephew there, and I want to, just see
Oh,
him. So, I have a cousin, and he has a kid that will be turning 2, and I feel like the last time I've been to Singapore was 2019, and maybe
okay.
a lot has changed, and
Mhm.
my stomach has gotten stronger, so I could actually eat the food and not get sick from it. And it wasn't like Singaporean food got me sick, it was just my stomach can't handle the amount of food that my cousin was putting me through
Oh.
in the food tour. Maui and him were fine, but it was
Oh
just me.
my
I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't eat this
gosh.
much."
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting.
Mhm. And there's,
Oh,
like,
I
this
haven't
weird challenge where because Singapore is it's a pretty small island,
Mhm.
there's the challenge where you could walk from one side of the country all the way to the other side of the country in, like if you're running it like, let's say if you're doing the north to south, I believe, the shorter end, you
Mhm.
could do it in, like, 6 hours or something. So it's like
Walking?
a
6-hour
marathon
walk?
6-hour walk, yes.
That's literally
So it
like that's a half day hike.
yeah. So I'll be like, "Oh, I wanna try that, that's fun." I'll probably be doing it by myself because I know Maui's not gonna wanna do it.
She'll ride along in a scooter, ride alongside you on a scooter.
Yeah, for real. So, yeah, those are my 2 repeats that I wanna go back to, China and Singapore.
That's so cool. I haven't even been to Singapore once.
I think you'll
I need
love
to get
Singapore
there.
too.
I think I will too. I feel like I would
Mhm.
thrive blowing all my money in Singapore.
Oh my gosh, you just spend one thing and then it's already blown. It's like
Oh my gosh, how sad is did it feel like US prices or, like, even more expensive?
actually, it didn't. So the food didn't feel that expensive, especially if you're going to the hawker stalls, which is,
Okay.
like, the OG, food halls, Asian
Okay.
street food halls, and it didn't feel expensive. But if you're going to they have a lot of
Fancy
Michelin star
restaurants, yeah.
restaurants. Some of them could be very budget friendly, and some of them could be really, really expensive, and, of course, you wanna experience, the food there. Sometimes it could feel like American prices, but I
Mm,
feel like for
okay.
the most part, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll gotta get there.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll hop on your trip too then.
Yes, let's go.
How long would you go back for?
I wanna do, like Well, I'll probably tag it on with something else,
Oh, okay, okay. You're
but
like, "Well, if I'm going to Australia and New Zealand for 6 weeks, might as well add Singapore in there too,
and
and
then I'll just go
China,
to
why
China,
not?" Yeah, and China, why not? Jeez.
take the whole year off, you
That's
know.
so funny.
If I go, I'll probably stay, like, a week to a week and a half or something.
For
Cause last
sure,
time
and
I
you have
only spent,
family
like,
there
5
too.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, Imma join you for that one.
Yeah, let's go, and then you could go to Vietnam.
I could, I mean,
Yeah,
let's just
because
all
my cousin's wife is from Vietnam, so before when they
Oh,
were dating, they would
yeah.
fly back and forth, and it's like an easy flight.
Wow.
Mhm.
I need to get on that. Alright. Alright, we're just doing a grand tour of Asia and or no, an APAC tour since we're gonna add Australia and New Zealand in there too. So it's in the whole Asia Pacific tour.
For real. This is crazy.
Alright. I'm gonna switch gears a bit, and this has been my number 1 forever,
Wait,
and it
I
is
guess.
basically it's wait, let me give you a little hint and
Okay.
our listeners, our great friends out there listening, a hint. It is like probably the new Costa Rica in terms of Americans retiring there,
Oh, maybe I
and it's a
don't know.
very popular destination, but it's not I mean, it's in Europe.
Oh, okay, maybe I do know.
You do know, come on, what's your guess? It's so
Portugal?
popular. Yes.
Okay.
It's been my number 1 for so long, and it's just so popular because the weather is very similar to, like, mild California weather. They have wine
Mm.
regions, still on my list. Won't get rid of it, can't get rid of it. I have been wanting to do, like, the Camino de Santiago, the Portuguese way. I'm finding a lot out about it, though, that it's, like, mostly concrete. It's almost dangerous for pilgrims because it's like the roads aren't very safe. Like they don't create walkable paths. They're like making you walk
Hmm.
on like the roads where the freeways are. So I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
okay,
not
maybe
fun.
I'll just do it the regular way, which is through like France and Spain. But I just, to dedicate knowing me, even with training to walk the Camino, I'd have to dedicate at least a month, and I don't know when I'll have that. So I'm like, I'm gonna settle for a nice little 2-week trip to Portugal then. But yeah,
I
I want
remember
what's up? Go
Go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I just remember you mentioning that to me in our very, very, very first episode, um, and, I didn't know about it until you mentioned it, and I looked it up, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, this seems really cool because I love physical challenges about
yeah,
the Camino de
yeah.
Santiago.
We
So,
could
I was
do it
like,
the normal way. You would I
yeah,
think the more you read up on it, you would also agree, like, the Portuguese way, unfortunately, it's just, like it's on, like, concrete. I'm like, "Bro, I'm not flying to Europe to walk on concrete. I
right,
wanna
yeah.
walk on, like, trails," you know?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
um but you know what a lot of people do? You don't have to walk it all at once. Like, you can walk it
Mm.
the 2 weeks you have off from work or something, come back and then walk the rest of it a year later. It's not like
Oh,
it's like
cool.
everyone has their own path. I think it's just to get the in Santiago de Compostela, which is the end point, and like you go to the church to get your pilgrim passport stamped. Like you literally get a certificate that you walked it. You have to have walked like I think it's either 500 kilometers or 500 miles. I think it's like 500 kilometers.
Cool.
So you have to have walked that and logged it somehow. Yep.
Mm, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like it's cool you stay at cool places along the way, like, it's a mix of hostels and hotels, and yeah, I just Portugal, it just sounds like the new California dream.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, the sun
Okay.
and the weather and the wine
Yeah.
and the food and the seafood, which you won't be eating, so I'll eat yours, but
Take it all, take it all.
but yeah, Portugal is still on my list, still on my list.
Okay, cool. Yeah, keep that on there. I will join you for that physical challenge. You know, I
Yeah.
love those. And moving on to a physical challenge, my next destination is unavailable because I don't know where it is yet, but I do want to run another half marathon or a marathon um,
Ooh,
in an international grounds. So I'm still figuring that out. So
I
we'll
love
we'll
that.
see. Yeah. Sorry,
Time to
I was
you're gonna
boring
place
with that.
No, you're gonna place 15th in the women's. Doing better than for those of you that don't remember, I'm gonna brag about you for a second. For those of you that haven't listened to Trizzy's Chinese marathon or marathon half marathon on the Great Wall of China episode yet, Trizzy placed 16th in the women's division.
I
16th out of
shoved
how
it.
many do you know how many people ran the race?
I
Was it
actually
like
don't know.
thousands, hundreds? I don't know. Yeah.
Probably hundreds. I don't know if it was thousands. It didn't seem like a super duper big race, but it was
Mhm.
definitely hundreds. If anything, it
I
would be
think
the low thousands.
I mean, Great Wall sounds intimidating. So I could see lesser numbers signing up for it, you know?
Yeah,
But that's why I'm like, dude, and Trizzy got a pair of shoes to take home. They
I
cleared
did.
customs.
I know. What? They really did send it through.
So I just know she's gonna one up the last time and get 15th or better. That's super
Oh,
cool. I can't
wow.
wait. Okay, save that because we always love like surprising each other. Save that
Yeah.
announcement. Don't tell me yet.
Okay. Definitely, definitely.
Do you know what time of year you want to run one?
I really enjoyed the springtime, like what I did in Beijing.
Mhm.
I think year round, I feel like no matter where I go, springtime would always deliver really good weather, I think. But yeah, I would want to do it before June because
Mhm.
we might, between Maui and I, we might have a big lifestyle shift. And if she
Mhm.
ends up
Mhm.
going back to school, then it will have to be before June.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're I mean, with weather, then you can hit 2 birds with 1 stone with this, like, Australia, New Zealand starting oh, wait, no, they're going into
Their
winter.
winter, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so actually it's very cold. It'll be pretty cold.
Yeah.
Unless you're in, like, the northern parts of Australia and New Zealand, which the northern part of Australia is pretty barren. Like, there's
Okay.
not a lot there.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's just not as developed as
Gotcha, gotcha.
as the southern parts and some of the coasts. Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. Look into that.
But yeah. Yeah. Okay, my last one. Um, Basic B, everyone has been here. And literally everyone has been here and everyone's currently here right now because their economy
Oh.
and unfortunately and their currency is quite weak at the moment, but
Mhm.
hope it'll get stronger for them and maybe I can come and boost their economy, but I'm talking about Japan.
Yep. I was debating that too,
I
but I was like, "Man, everybody's going there."
It's still on my list. So for
Mhm.
those that like I can't remember if we've done a list one before. We probably have, but it's been a few years. Portugal and Japan have just been like top of my list. And so is
Awesome.
Philippines, but I've already been there twice. So and then I'm going next year. So I'm
Hey.
like check check check.
Mhm.
So it's just Portugal and Japan that I keep putting off, but
Yeah.
soon.
Japan's a great spot. I mean, for me to even, consider that as one of my top destinations shows how it is just even if even if you consider it overhyped, it's
Mhm.
worth the overhyped. Like,
Yeah, who's talking about it being overhyped? That would be so
there's certain
weird.
people, they're like, "I don't wanna go to Japan yet because it's just too much right now." I'm like,
That's
"Well,
so odd.
you snooze, you lose."
Yeah, see ya. You can go
Yeah.
spend more money while you're there. Yeah, I don't know when I'll get there though. I have no idea when I'm gonna do any of this stuff, to be honest. You at least have time frames, but I don't have time frames for none of this. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed in 2020 sometime in 2025.
Okay, my time frame is within, like, 6 months, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to
Oh
squeeze in Norway,
my
New
god.
Zealand, China, Singapore, and wherever the marathon is gonna be all in
Okay,
6 months,
you're on a
so
world this is like a world tour. This is
oh my
crazy.
gosh. Yeah.
First
But, at the earlier in this episode, I said these are the places that I wish to go, but probably not gonna happen just because, um, I feel as though 2023 and 2024, the
Mhm.
traveling that we did and the adventuring that we did kinda drained us and
Mm.
exhausted us mentally and emotionally, and
Mhm,
then,
mhm.
us looking into 2025 on top of everything else that we wanna do, we do wanna stay local and kind of revisit and reintroduce ourselves to our home.
I love it.
And,
Yep.
me and Leah were talking about this, before this episode, and we were just saying how sometimes when we're at home, we don't wanna go out, we don't wanna do anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, I miss the back in the day, I did exercise, eat, explore. I miss
Mhm.
something like that. So, I wanna try and do that for myself this
Do
year
more
or this
local
coming year.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. I get it. I feel you. And then for me, I'm in like a different situation too, because I might have, I mean, literally in the next, at time of filming, we're beginning of December, but in the next like week, I'll have a big lifestyle change too that may not allow me to travel for as long as I want to. I think I can still travel, but like I don't know if I can do 2 months at a time, you know?
Mhm.
So I might have to, I don't like the term like slowing down. I don't want to slow down, but I might have to just readjust my travels for next year.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, we'll see what I can do. Like, what if it's just a 5-day trip to Japan? I don't know. That would be nuts. But
You
people
could
do
do
it
it.
though, direct
You
flights.
could
People
do
do
it.
direct
Yeah.
flights. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane. That's
I mean,
15
people from
hours.
Hawaii, I'm pretty sure they just do it like how we do Hawaii.
My gosh, that's insane. Oh my god. More trips to Hawaii though, now that, Alaska bought them out?
Mhm, definitely, yeah, we were looking into some flights during Black Friday or Cyber Monday, so
Mhm.
we'll see. I got a companion fare coupon that I have to
Ooh,
use, so we
okay.
gotta figure it
When do you have
out.
to when do you have to use it by?
January, like mid-January-ish.
Wait, you have to just use it by, you don't have to travel by then,
I don't have
right?
to travel by, yeah, I just have
Okay,
to
I
use
was
that
like
coupon, purchase for future
I was
travels.
like, "Go." It's like it's about to be. That's
So,
funny.
yeah. Well, cool, our list. We're rocking it.
Yeah. Cheers to the rest of 2025. When this is released, we'll be about halfway or almost through the month of January. So hopefully it's
Yes.
starting off well for everyone. And hopefully this ages well in the next few weeks.
To find even more travel tips on budgeting, destinations, and our favorite items, sign up for our monthly newsletter, The Check In, linked in the show notes or description.